Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about medical astrology and Uranus. I'm going to be talking about the body parts that are associated with this planet in medical astrology, and also possible debilitations, health issues that may arise when Uranus is afflicted, and whether it's through transit or natally progressions. But anyway. Well, first off, the body parts that are associated with Uranus are the ankles, shins, calves, the nerves. Uh, it could be even unusual debilitations or illnesses that may be associated with this planet. The lower legs, I would say the Achilles heel as well, and very spontaneous accidents that come very quickly and very shocking sometimes. And also, you're talking about very intermittent energy. It could be health issues that are very sporadic and erratic. And I would say epilepsy as well, because epilepsy is connected with the lack of electrical equilibrium. So I would say that could be connected with it as well. Uh, anyway, the thing about it is, you look at Uranus could be, given that it's very sporadic and erratic energy, it could often be manifest if you have Uranus very afflicted in your chart. You have in the first or sixth house, it could give some issues with nerves. I have it prominent. I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. But anyway, I want to talk about if Uranus is afflicted natally. The thing is, this may manifest, of course, in Uranus-related physical issues and health dilemmas. Now, I have Uranus conjunct my sixth house cusp in my natal chart, and it squares my Mercury as well. Now, as I stated before, Uranus can be connected with the nerves. I have irrevocable nerve damage uh, that has impacted my daily routine and in employment. Uranus, of course, could be connected with the nerves, and the sixth house is associated with the daily routine and one's work and employment. I've been very, say, inhibited, or my work has been very prohibited over the years and has had a number of restrictions that are connected with it, because I can hardly do anything as far as strenuous or repetitive lifting. I can't engage in vigorous sports activity, and a lot of this astrologically is attributed to this Uranus almost exactly conjunct my sixth house cusp, and the fact that it squares my Mercury. Now, Mercury can be associated with the hands and the arms, and this nerve damage is very emphasized in my hands and in my arms. I remember one time I had I don't know, it's like a shooting, like a shocking sensation, a number of times going straight from my wrist up until my elbow, and my nerve damage is pretty extensive, to say the absolute least. The fact that Uranus also squares my sun in Cancer, the sun can be connected with the physical body. Yes, the ascendant is what dominates the health, possible health issues, the physical body, the appearance, but the sun can play a role as well. And I obviously, the fact that Uranus squares my sun certainly doesn't help matters. And anyway, and the thing is, it's interesting, is that this problem perhaps got exacerbated when I was working as a dishwasher. And the zodiac sign Cancer can be connected with food and in restaurant fields. You're talking about Mercury in Cancer, so being involved in, as far as that aspect goes, between Uranus, as far as Uranus is squaring my Mercury, Mercury being in Cancer, Mercury could be connected with the hands and the arms, and the zodiac sign Cancer can be connected with food. So you could do the math as far as that goes. This got exacerbated when I was lifting bus tubs one time in a restaurant. So anyway, Now, another thing is that transits that involve Uranus can play a role in health, physical related matters associated with the planet Uranus. Now, in late July of 2020, transit Uranus made an opposition to street ball legend Grayson Boucher's natal Mars in Scorpio, or he is also known as the Professor. I would say he's called the Professor because he figuratively takes people to school when he plays basketball by outmaneuvering them, putting all these shrewd moves on the basketball court, and outmaneuvering the opposition basically. But anyway, transit Uranus did oppose Grayson Boucher's natal Mars in Scorpio at this time, and the thing about this is when you're talking about Mars and astrology, Mars can be about issues with the physical body. You're talking about Uranus can be connected with the ankles. I would say the Achilles heel as well. And it appeared that he either injured his ankle and or the Achilles heel when he had when he became injured. And another thing, I mean, this is speculation on my part, but I think Grayson Boucher might have a Taurus ascendant, and it's possible if this is the case, then transit Uranus may have been hitting his ascendant at the time, or at least been in the first house. And when you have, I mean, if something hits, right on your sun or your ascendant or even Mars, that could be an indicator of some issues, health-related issues that may be spurred on in the connection with that transiting planet. And again, Uranus can be associated with the ankles and Achilles heel. Now, anyway, another thing is that when you're talking about your Uranus and medical astrology, I mean, progressions in a chart can play a role as well. Now, and they can, as far as having health related issues, debilitations with the physical body associated with Uranus. Now, let's say, as an example, let's say that in a progress chart, somebody has Uranus making an adverse aspect to their Mars in that chart. Now, this could manifest as an example in something intermittent with the muscles. It could be muscle twitching. Mars can be associated with the muscles, and Uranus can be very, of course, erratic and sporadic energy. And in some cases, I mean, if you have, like, say, Uranus making an adverse aspect to your sun in a progress chart, this could be some kind of eye twitching in some cases, because keep in mind, again, going back to the fact Uranus could be very erratic and sporadic energy, and the sun could rules either the left or the right eye, depending on gender. Now, as far as synastry goes, synastry aspects can sometimes play a role in physical health related issues, injuries associated with the planet involved. Now, let's say that somebody has in their synastry, they have the somebody's south node is, well, let's say someone's Chiron is on another person's Uranus. Now, in some cases, the Chiron person might do things to cause injuries to the Uranus person, something Uranus related, like something with the ankles or the the shins, the calves. Going back to Grayson Boucher, he's the street ball icon legend, aka the Professor. Now, there's a number of occasions where he's put on some moves on the basketball court where I'm sure where he's broken other people's ankles because of the moves that he puts on them. And it wouldn't surprise me, at least in one of those cases, that maybe Grayson Boucher's Chiron might have been on that person's Uranus or something similar. But anyway, and even though that wasn't malicious, as far as him doing things that are causing the injuries to others, it's the way it works out. It's not always deliberate when you have aspects like this in synastry. It could just be the way things work out, whether it's your sports competition or what have you. Now, but another thing, keep in mind too, that if somebody's Chiron conjuncts one's Uranus, in some cases it may be beneficial. The Chiron person may actually be the healer of the Uranus person, because Chiron, again, is the wounded healer. It could go either way. Sometimes, I mean, Chiron could be about inflicting wounds, but it could also be about healing as well. So, and the Chiron person might be the Uranus person's, it could be their physician or doctor or healer of some kind. So those are some ways that could manifest and pan out. Another example I want to talk about, I mean, let's say that somebody you have in synastry, somebody's South Node conjuncts another person's Uranus. Well, the thing about it is the South Node, when it's conjunct another point in someone else's chart, the South Node person could be draining something from the planet person. Now, if the it could be, in this case, in that example, that Uranus could be about, I mean, I would say selflessness, since it rules Aquarius. It might be that the South Node person might drain that Uranus person of selfless energy, perhaps, and it could be that it leaves the Uranus person somewhat depleted and not being able to maybe do as much for their other friends. As an example, remember, Uranus could also be associated with friendships as well. So anyway, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.